Good morning, you guys. Welcome to episode 84 of the First and 10 NFL New York Jets podcast. How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing much better than I was doing Sunday night. Think about it, right? Think about how football works. Just from this sake, we go to bed Sunday night. We're pissed over that bad, terrible loss.
Mm-hmm.
We're out of the playoffs, where I think they rated us the ninth seed Monday morning when you look at the breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then Detroit almost gave us something to hang our hats on. So close.
Yep.
And then
Hey, Minnesota helped, right?
And I was just going to say, and then Minnesota did us a solid because when you went to bed Thursday night, you were the seventh seed, and now you control your destiny. Now, let's not shit the bed anymore.
Listen, if you can take this game Sunday,
yep.
And I saw something about and Tennessee can
beat Baltimore
or Cincinnati.
Okay, Cincinnati. I'm sorry. Okay, yep.
You're right back in the five.
Yeah. So. Now, before we get into, because I know you and I hadn't had a real head-to-head chance to discuss the Zach Wilson nonsense, the Zach Wilson immaturity, the Zach Wilson leadership. These are some of the things, Kevin, you and I, and I'm sure others have, talked about during that draft. I remember being mocked because I said, isn't it a little odd that the quarterback wasn't a team captain? Like, wasn't it a little odd that, and people say, no, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. But we'll get into that. Just real quick, because our podcast started last year, and for all those who've been following from day one, Kevin and I usually give you the breakdown of the head-to-head series. So this series, once again, we're losing this series in the 12 matches. The Bears beat us 9 out of 3. They beat us 5 in a row since 2002. And yeah, we play every 4 years, but the Bears own our butts in this one, and they lead the series 9-3. We'll get more into this game later, but tell me your take on Zach Wilson now that we're 6 days removed.
He had to do it. He had to do it. You lost the locker room.
Yeah.
And, they can say, and Quinnen can stand up there and say anything. Oh, we're good with them. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, they're all going to toe the company line in this case.
Well, as they should.
Yeah. But
to the media or whatever, but
it just amazes me.
Behind the scenes, he knew he had to do this because the locker room was pissed.
Yeah. And Kevin, it just amazes me that even with that loss, we're 6-4, something that we haven't been in. What? I don't know if we were ever over 500 after that first year with Bowles, or even close to it, and we're still an organization sometimes that looks like a shit show. I don't care how anybody wants to call it and say, oh, you're wrong, you're this. Fine, I'm wrong, it's my take. We're still like a 6-4 team should not be looking like a shit show with wanting to kill each other or kill their quarterback.
It starts with the kid. Yeah. I mean, I went back on Monday and Tuesday. I watched film. I watched film. I watched snippets here and there. This guy missed so many open receiver. It's some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. And everyone goes back. Everyone keeps telling about that play where Mims was wide open for the touchdown. And if
he's going like this.
If he just would have pulled the trigger.
And he looks right at him.
Yeah.
Now, I have a theory on that.
Go ahead.
If my theory's correct, we can never see this kid again.
Okay, go ahead.
I watched that play over and over and over and over and over again.
The Mims.
There's even a breakdown where they show you, there's a line that shows you line of sight. He looks right at him while he's going like this. He looks right at him. He pulls it down and runs and scrambles for 7 yards when he had a wide. Now, my theory is a little while before that, you threw it over his head and he barked at you. He was screaming at you. So now, did you look at him wide open and purposely not throw him the ball? That's what I'm thinking. You're looking right at him. The guy's going like this. There's nobody around him. He walks in for 6 points.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Kev? I don't know anymore.
And,
like you, even
and if that's the case, and that my theory is correct, I don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ever.
But that's part of the team leadership that he doesn't seem to have. You know, your press conference was you said that you didn't let the defense down. I believe you threw your receivers under the bus by saying they ran the wrong routes.
You're like a little bitch. That's what you are.
Yeah, that pissed off Garrett Wilson that you said that.
Right.
And a leader of men will always fall on his sword to save his group. Okay.
And like we said, say what you want about Sam and everything. He always said it was on him. Always, even when it wasn't.
Yeah. And listen, they put up, and I wish I was a little more computer savvy and sophisticated, because then other people could read it if they haven't. There was a quote this week from a Mark Sanchez game back in, I think, 2010, where he played awful, and how he admitted to letting not only the defense down, but his offense down, that every time he made a mistake, they got the points back for him. Like, they rallied. And that's
what you're supposed to do. Right.
Exactly. And then the fact that it came out that later that night, Zach's dad had to call him to tell him, like, did you realize what you were saying?
Right. You don't know? You don't realize it yourself?
Yeah. And then then they try to tell you, oh, well, when he interviewed one-on-one with Bob Wischusen, and I believe it was a totally different Zach. You know what? Whatever. That's probably had to be put out there by the Jets to quell to squash the nonsense that we were hearing, that guys were looking to knock him out in the locker room, you know?
But, I found an interesting quote from Salah. Well, there's a little irritation, but there's no hate. Wow. The fact that you would even say that.
I know, Kev, but in Salah's defense, if he comes out and tells
that you have, right, but you had to reassure the fan base that the players in the locker room don't hate your quarterback.
Well, I think more than the fan base, because I said to you that in 48 hours, the Zach supporters who were pissed Sunday will slowly, I'm not saying get fully back on the bandwagon, will slowly tell you why he's still their guy, you know?
Nope. Listen, I watched stuff over and over at the beginning of the week. This guy was horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid. And if you're looking at Mims, I'm telling you, he's looking right at him. And he doesn't, and he pulls the ball down and he scrambles out to the left. And if you didn't throw him that ball because he screamed at you earlier in the game, I don't ever want to see you again, ever.
Yeah. You know, quarterback receivers are gonna have their face-to-face battles. You know,
maybe stop throwing it over his head and he won't scream at you.
Yeah. But even Wilson, he missed him on that slant route. And he overthrew him on one, and
there's a couple plays. There's a play where Elijah Moore standing wide open. You throw it at his feet.
Yeah.
There's another play. Conklin running wide open for the first down. He's got 2 steps on the guy. You throw it over his head, and it goes into McCourty's hands, and he drops it.
Yeah. And you know what, Kev? None of that. He overthrew Berrios on the short pass.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I could have thrown that pass.
He overthrew a 6'4" Mims who jumped and still couldn't catch the ball. And the fact that he wasn't more humble,
that's the one where he screamed at him.
Yeah. The fact that he wasn't more humbled and said, my team did everything they can to beat this Patriot team, and I messed it up. I played like a dog.
You come out after that game and you take responsibility. I bet you're playing Sunday.
Yeah. Now I even toyed with it, and I heard people say you had to bench him. I get it, but the Chicago
and the fact that you're not even active, and Flacco's the backup,
but here's the other thing.
Volumes, man.
Yeah, I agree. It speaks volumes, but someone brought this to my attention, and I thought about this too. Are you creating a bigger controversy or a bigger rift in this locker room? The Bears have a weak defense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay? So would it have been better to scold Zach and still let him start to see what he really is against this weaker defense? Because if Mike White goes out and wins this game and does what he did against the Bengals, let's say, and throws for 400 yards, the naysayers are going to tell you, oh, so what? It was against the weakest defense. Zach could have done that. You know?
Every quarterback we've watched on this team, whether it's Johnson, whether it's White, whether it's Flacco, is capable of running this offense. Except for him.
Yeah, you're right.
Except for him. Except for him.
No, you know what, Kevin? Like we talked about, when we drafted the kid, I did not like it. I did not want him. I heard some of the stuff. Again, I got to look to see if I saved the clipping of the BYU coach who comes out and says this kid has character flaws. This kid is not a team. Let me see if I can pull it up now. I think I saved it to my phone.
I mean, I think I've told you already several times, like privately, if I never see this guy under center again, it's okay by me.
No, I know you have. I know you have. Hold on, just give me a second to see if I saved the.
I've been saying all year that I'm not sold on the quarterback.
Yes, you have. I will give you that. I will give you that.
As did Coach Westhoff when we had him on, saying the one thing that worries him on the team was the quarterback.
I thought I saved it. It was an interesting little clip that I found on Bleacher Report, and I thought I saved it. I'm so aggravated that I didn't. I thought I did. Silly me. Damn. I don't know if I could find it on Bleacher, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I wasn't sold on this kid. I wanted Sam here, and people will tell me all
Yes,
the
you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
People will tell me all the X's and O's about, what he does wrong, and they know better than me with this X's and O's nonsense. What I liked about Sam was that he never had what Zach had. All right, that's one.
Weapon-wise, absolutely, yes. And coaching,
yes. And number two, again, you could say I'm an idiot, and that's fine. This is my take. He never had the weapons that this kid had, and I already said the number two, he took responsibility week after week after
all
week
that matters.
after week. Everyone forgets that this kid came back from mono and lit it up against the Cowboys. Lit it up. Probably had one of his best games as a Jet. I'm trying to find the article. That's the only reason why I'm looking at my phone right now.
There's nothing you can say. It had to be done.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It had to be done.
It's just a shame, Kevin, because, again, it happened against a team that there's such, for the fan base, it's such hatred. And not only did we lose 14 in a row to them, 14 in a row in their building, they didn't even really beat us. We did everything.
No, of course.
No,
of course.
Kevin, we can get
The quarterback can't complete a pass. How are you going to beat anybody?
No, exactly. And we could get into, and I heard this too. Well, they should have punted out of bounds. They shouldn't have punted straight down the middle.
That's not why you listen.
Whatever. I
That's not why
get
you
all
lost.
that. I get all that. But that's not the reason why we lost the game.
No, that's not why you lost.
We lost the game because
you can't score it, because you can't score any points. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I can't find a damn article. It's crazy.
Your defense held them to 3 points in their building. Yeah. And you lost. You had 6 sacks and you lost the game.
Yeah.
Your defense has 6 sacks. You held them to 3 points offensively and you lost the game.
Yeah. For the life of me, Kevin, how does an offense average 2.77 inches per play in the second half?
Listen, you put that up during the week, and I told you the answer. Zach Wilson's your quarterback.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah. How the hell does that happen?
You got a bust as your QB. That's how it happens.
When you have a Jet defense, the defense this season, when using less than 5 pass rushes, has 11 interceptions. Number 2 in the NFL. 25 sacks, number 2 in the NFL. 71-point passer rating allowed, number 1 in the NFL. This is without blitzing.
You got a championship defense and you can't score any points.
Yeah.
That's
We don't
time for a change.
Yeah, we don't have to blitz. Because our front 4 is not only so good, but on the back end, you can fool LaMarcus Joyner, Sauce Gardner, Reed, and Whitehead. Yep. You can't fool those guys. You can't fool those guys.
No, had to be done.
Think on defense might be our linebackers, and they're pretty damn good. So when you go into New England and you hold them to 3 points, even though Mac Jones, who we rip and everyone, but he manages the game beautifully and
and that's another thing. You know, it was windy out there, you guys. Whoa. The other quarterback didn't have no problem cutting through the wind.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But you know what, Kevin? Here's another
Stop making excuses when it really comes down to that you suck.
Yeah. And here's the other thing I'll say, Kevin. Again, we said, we just speak as fans. It wasn't 10 degrees in Foxborough. No, it wasn't a wind chill factor of 9 below. It was 36 degrees, I believe, maybe 35. Wow, chance of flurries. Big deal. This is the East Coast. All right. And it felt like 22 degrees. It wasn't brutal.
Did you ever hear Tom Brady complain about the wind in Foxborough?
No, that's what but Kevin, forget it wasn't brutal. This wasn't the ice ball.
No, it's excuses.
Yeah. I watched the Jets one year play a playoff game in Cincinnati. I believe it was here in our building when.
You remember that? How cold it was?
Yeah. And it was 0 degrees with the wind chill. And I think it was an 8-degree, 7-degree game at start time.
Yes.
At start time. This was 35 degrees in Foxborough. Not
and 15, a little windy.
Not 5, not 9 below with the wind chill factor. It was 22 with the wind chill factor.
It was just excuses for horrible quarterback play.
So back to my question. If Mike White lights it up against this supposedly weak Bears defense, what happens now in that locker room? Does Zach come back the following week? Does Zach come back the following week?
You celebrate a win. That's what you do.
No, I get it. But who starts against Minnesota next week? Do we go
Mike White? Nope. The kid ain't right. There's something wrong.
Let me ask you this question.
And the thing that's wrong is maybe he's just no good.
Well, that's what I wanted. Let me ask you this question. If we already know that if Mike White loses to the Bears, they're probably going to go back to Zach. But if Mike White beats the Bears, yeah, you're going to have some people say this was a weak defense.
It's all
if
right.
Mike White plays against the Vikings and starts to play against the Bills, is Zach done in this organ? If Zach is not in by, let's say, next week or in 2 weeks, is Zach done in this organization's eyes? If they've seen enough to say, we're done with this kid.
Could be. You hear rumors already of Jimmy G next year, right?
But you're hearing, you see, and this is what I'm saying. We're such a starved fan base, but we're a smart fan base. We know how good this team could be. Mm-hmm. And when you start hearing the fans scream, Garoppolo, Carr. I heard somebody say yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that if this team had Jared Goff, they would have beat the Patriots both times.
Listen,
that's saying a lot because Goff.
All you needed was pedestrian quarterback play. Complete simple passes. The guy's open. Get him the ball.
Yeah.
You see Mims in the middle of the field waving his arms. There's nobody around him.
Yeah.
You're looking right at him. Throw him the ball. You got a touchdown.
I'm with you, Kev. I'm with you.
All you need is pedestrian quarterback play. Your defense will get the rest of the job done, along with the playmakers that are around you on offense. Just do what you got to do.
So here's
even Tucker over there saying,
yeah. So here's something that I found interesting. I saw this story the other day, and I did save this one because we are playing the Bears, and he's now on the Bears. Now, you could take this as you will. You say, oh, he's on the Bears now. He's just, a scorned Jet. So let me read it to you. Lamar Jackson, who spent 2 years with the Jets between 2020 and 21, has been speaking about the Jet quarterback situation ahead of the game this week. Jackson, who's now with the Bears. So, again, I said he's with the Bears, so take his comments with a grain of salt if you want. He went crazy, said the Bears cornerback Lamar Jackson, who was on the Jets practice squad last year. I'll give us a lift and almost create a riff in the locker room because the second overall pick in the locker room, Wilson, and your backup throws a 400-yard game. So he was saying that once, as you know, White went out and did what he did, the locker room was already divided because they felt White led the locker room better, like you said, it managed the game, knew how to run this offense better.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Every quarterback they've put in knows how to run it except for this one.
Yep. And he also made it sound like Zach never got over the fact that White's jersey went into the Hall of Fame.
Went to the Hall of Fame. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be. It's your teammate. You should be happy for him.
Yeah. 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 You could almost, when you hear someone say that, and again, take it with a grain of salt. It's a Jet player that's no longer here.
Yeah, right. Disgruntled, whatever, right.
You know, but it almost sounds like that spoiled baby. That should have been me. I could have been in the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
I'm so aggravated that I can't find.
Thus, do you feel you're let your defense down? No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same attitude.
Yeah.
It's the same attitude.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me. Why would it be me? It was everybody else.
Yeah. My receivers ran the wrong route. They got to get in shape. They got to
do Garrett Wilson seemed to be a little frustrated. Yeah, well, they frustrate me too with their mistakes. Yeah. Well, are you kidding me?
Was that the quote?
Yes. Are you kidding me, dude?
No, like I said to you, Kevin, I was so aggravated with that loss. I didn't watch anything after that. I had no numbers. I didn't listen to what anyone else said. I just had to sit on the couch and think, what the hell did I just witness?
What did you just watch?
You
watched it. You watched a guy play quarterback that looks lost. That's what you watched.
Yeah.
And like I say, that play to Mims, that wide open touchdown, I'm telling you, he looks right at him and pulls it down and runs.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore if this organization as a whole just doesn't know how to pick quarterbacks. I don't know if this organization as a whole doesn't know how to work with quarterbacks. and I understand losing Greg Knapp, God rest his soul, was a big loss. But once that happened,
I don't know, because how come the other quarterbacks can run the offense, but he can't?
You're right. I don't have an answer for you. I'm trying to look for a silver lining with this kid because we picked him number 2.
Yeah, I know.
I think everyone in Jetland was high on him but you and I. And I've grown to like him, and I know you still can't stand him, and you might be the right one. You might be the only one. I started to like him. I started to support him, but you watch those 2 games against, and you know what, Kevin? Even in the Buffalo game, he was okay. Let's not act like he was a world dominant beat. Like, whoa.
Other than the fourth quarter in Pittsburgh,
yeah,
they're winning in spite of him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I can't argue with any of that. I can't defend him anymore.
No, there's no defense. There's no defense.
I don't know if he comes back against Minnesota or whenever he comes back. But when he comes back, it's got to come back with leadership. These are my guys. I messed up. I let them down. He's got to come back with, you know what? These guys run through a wall. I'm going to run through a wall.
What did he say? He called it humbling. Yeah. Time to put my head down and work. Well, that's not what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Now you needed this to make you put your head down and work?
You know what, Kevin?
Get the hell out of here.
When you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, okay, and you had everything handed to you, and you're always worried, everyone, yes, Zach, yes, Zach, yes, Zach, you can't handle this. And you know what's funny? I think it's because, again, and I'm going to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're so starved for a quarterback. We don't see the flaws in this kid with the character flaws. This kid was not a team captain, okay, which means to me he's not a leader. And I remember saying this on this show, our show, and somebody said to me, oh, that's not a big deal. I could live with that. Meanwhile, hold on, didn't everyone, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh Rosen comes from money, I believe. Maybe not Zach Wilson money. And a lot of the knocks on this kid was he doesn't have the heart. He doesn't need the job. If he loses the job.
Right. It's no big deal.
And whether that was true or not, we don't know. Josh Rosen never played for us. We see he's out of the league. He couldn't gripe it. He couldn't handle it. Why aren't we saying the same about Zach? Why aren't we making the Zach Wilson, Josh Rosen comparison?
I'm ready to. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Josh Rosen came from money, and people were worried about, he comes from money. He doesn't need this. He doesn't know what it's like to struggle, to have hard times, to have it hard. Well, isn't it the same for Zach, only tenfold? I don't know what the Rosens do, what they come from, what's their claim to fame, but it's we all know this is the JetBlue nephew. This is the JetBlue,
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Now, I didn't know. I didn't see. Did his mom pop in and weigh in like she usually does?
I don't know, but you see, and that was I'm so pissed at myself, Kim, that I can't find this quote from the coach who says that's the other thing. The mom and dad are too involved with the media, and they're constantly backing up their son. Oh, I could kick myself for not finding this article from one of the BYU coaches. He said kind of everything we said before the draft, or at least you and I worries about this kid. Oh, I can't believe I didn't save it. I'm so pissed. It was on Bleacher Report.
And I see, and speaking of Sam, I see Sam getting the start for Carolina this week.
Yeah.
Be funny if he goes out and plays well. If he goes out and plays well, right?
Yeah. I'm so bad. I wish I could have said I'm so stupid.
Now, let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
Would you have started Flacco or White? What do you think about that?
No, I would have went with White.
Because?
Well, here, let me just say a little more. I think Flacco, when he got here, should have been brought here more as the coaching mentor. Not
like a Josh McCown.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think Flacco should have started those first 3 games. I think they should have went with Mike White.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now, you could say, oh, you're just saying this now because everything you're hearing and the riff and how other players said Mike White is well liked. Listen, we know in all locker rooms the backup is more liked. I think this was something that's been brewing from last year.
That's why they moved him up.
That's why, because if Mike White comes out and wins those first 3 games, because all 3 of those games were winnable, okay, now you really caused this rift that we're hearing this ex-Bears say, and that we've been blowing under the rug, sweeping under the rug. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, Jet fans. You tell me I'm crazy, that's fine. Why would you start Flacco?
Veteran. I don't know.
I understand.
That's the only thing I can think on a player front. He's a statue. I know.
He cement boots in the pocket.
Yeah, right. He's a statue.
And the reason why I'm saying this now, Kevin, because you started Flacco those first 3 games because you wanted to protect that rift. Because if Mike White came out and lit it up, because my question to you,
right off the bat, you had a QB controversy.
Exactly. But right now, and Kevin, here's what makes this a solid point on our part. Why isn't Flacco starting tomorrow? Why Mike White? Why? Because he gives you the better chance to win. You're right now in the playoffs, and Mike White runs the offense better than this kid. You're not fooling us. You don't have shades over our eyes.
Listen, anybody runs the offense better than this kid.
No, but I'm trying to say is now this controversy in this locker room is starting to look a little more legit.
I heard some things about every team like has a leadership council or something, which is a group of veteran players, okay, that bring grievances to the coaching staff or whatever.
Okay, I'm listening.
I heard something about, you know how he was late Monday, Salah, the media and everything, like an hour and a half. Okay. Well, supposedly these meetings were part of this leadership council.
Okay.
Involved in everything.
Okay.
And I think he was flat out told they don't want this kid playing.
I think it also had to do with sitting down with Woody, sitting down with JD, and saying, we're in this thing. We're not liking what we're seeing. Are we all in agreement that we go now with Mike White? Not Joe Flacco like they did the first 3 weeks because they wanted to protect the kid. Now they're not protecting the kid. Now the kid's going to have to fend for himself.
And I mean, you had JFM, you had Sauce liking the tweets, bashing this kid, and then saying, "Oh, I liked him by mistake." Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah. No, I know.
Come on. Come on.
Agree.
You kidding me?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
Sauce, I always like things by mistake.
Yeah.
Really?
Now, would you have liked him to say that, or would you have better off said, you know what, it was the heat of the moment, I was angry, and I'd
rather him say that, because what you said, we're laughing.
Yeah, because that to me just says you hated it, but now you were told,
right?
You know what?
Right.
Let's keep.
You were told, yes.
Let's keep this in house as much as we can, and not, you know.
Yep.
And let me tell you, if Fox 5 tomorrow, who's airing this game, their announcers don't bring this up, that's not good reporting. That's not good reporting.
That's right.
And you know they are. And if Mike White moves this offense down the field and puts up 300 yards, 3 TDs, and we win.
And all we heard right after the game last week, wow, LaFleur's got to go. What a crap game he called. Listen, you go back and you watch what you don't see on TV. If you watch the whole field, there's guys running wide open and he's not hitting them.
Yeah.
Wide open.
Maybe his uncle had a bet that New England would win, and he had to cover his uncle's ass. I'm sorry, Kevin. No quarterback could be that inept.
No.
Or is it just Jet law that a quarterback is this inept?
Well, hey, it was windy out there.
Yeah, it was windy.
You know, guys, it was really windy out there.
Windy.
Shut up. Shut up.
I love it.
Shut up.
Windy. What's that song by the Association? Everyone knows it's windy.
Windy.
Yeah, I don't know what to say anymore, Kev.
No, there's nothing to say.
There's nothing. Everyone will hit you with numbers and X's and O's and stats, and the kid sucked. The kid outright sucked. There's no other word for it. You know, I don't even.
Like I said, I keep coming back to that Mims play, man. If you didn't throw him that ball on purpose because he yelled at you a few plays ago, holy crap!
You know, it was a holiday week, so we didn't do a lot of digging. But even in the game where Sam Darnold said he saw ghosts, was his numbers as bad as what
I don't know. Good question.
Was.
I don't think he missed open receivers like that. I mean, nobody misses open receivers like that. Barrios on that screen there, there's nobody around. There's no pressure. All you got to do is throw him the ball and you sail it over his head.
Yeah. I don't know anymore. Like when now this fan base who
you and me could have made that throw.
No, I hear you. I'm just wondering where the fan base's head is at, because a lot of people love this kid. We were crushed early. I mean, I got crushed even going into week 1 last year saying I liked Sam, you know.
Nope.
And I just don't remember Sam and had nothing around him being this bad.
I mean, can we have a quarterback that can see over the offensive lineman?
Well, I mean, this kid was number 2. This kid was number 2.
Why? I don't know.
Because all the media darlings fell in love with
him. Because he made a throw in shorts and a T-shirt that Sam made in games.
Yeah.
So
he made it throw in shorts and T-shirt, Kevin. At this level, all these guys make now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like we hear a lot of people say Tua, you know. Here's the funny thing. I heard a lot of people say Tua, noodle arm.
Right.
But now our Jet brothers and sisters are comparing it and saying, well, if Miami could sit him and Tua came back strong, why can't Zach? We killed Tua for being noodle arm, not strong enough arm, not a good quarterback. But now we're so desperate for Zach to be well, we're comparing him to Tua now. Because don't forget, remember we criticized last year how the coach was sitting Tua at certain points in the game when we said, how is he stunting the kid's growth? How is that going to pan out? Well, Tua is 7-0 as the Dolphins starter. Their only 3 losses is when he doesn't start. And now that what the coach last year did seem to work, and it's flourishing now. Now we're comparing it. Now we're saying, well, it could work with Zach. Benching wakes up, he comes back even stronger. We'll see.
And I mean, what's a reset? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it what is it?
Well, that's what I said to you, Kev. Just on your opinion. If he goes out and beats this Bears with a weak defense, and now we're just hearing that 2 of their key cornerbacks, I believe, are out, this defense gets even weaker, you know? He goes out and beats this team. Does Jet Nation want to see him next Sunday against Minnesota? I sure don't.
No, I don't. I don't think that a week is long enough for a reset.
Yeah.
Dude, you watch this kid, his mechanics are off. His feet, he's got happy feet. He's like a panicked mess.
But Kev, the organization as a whole doesn't. Maybe they care what the fans say. If we go out and beat the Bears, this organization now has to go back into their room, into their bunker, and Salah will be late again on Monday for his press conference, because then the talk is, well, We're 8-3. Hopefully we beat the Bears with Mike White, and we're 8-3.
No, 7-4.
I'm sorry, 7-4. Sorry. We're 7-4. And now the talk is what? Ride the kid? All right, we proved our point. Let's go back to Zach.
You
Because
can't
let
go
me tell you,
back.
if you go back to Zach and they lose Minnesota, even if they bring White back, the team is done. The
That's
team
it.
will
That's
quit.
done. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Now, the other problem is, Kev, if Mike White goes out there, and listen, we know Mike White is not Roger Staubach. He's not
No,
just
of course not.
saying that, but he knows how to run this offense. If he goes out and, let's just say for fun, beats the Bears, beats Minnesota in there, because I understand it was on short rest, but that Minnesota defense did not scare me. Yes, that offense is great. That Jefferson, and this is another thing, Kevin, I'll get back to it. But if he goes out and beats the Vikings and then plays well against a hurt Buffalo, who I believe now Von Miller is out for the season, and he beats, let's say, Buffalo, can Zach ever regain his job? Is Zach even on this roster next year?
Should he regain it?
Yeah.
No.
But then how foolish do the Jets look that their number 2 pick in year 2 is pretty much a bust? The Jets can't live with that. They rather put him back in, take their lumps, and come and tell us how, well, we won 8 games. We were ahead of the curve. We're ahead of the curve, you know?
No, you're in the midst of a playoff run.
Yeah. But if Mike White goes out there and wins tomorrow, and then we finish even if we finish the rest of the way 500, that's still 10-7, and that's a good chance we get into the playoffs. What are you going to tell us next year? Who's our quarterback? Who are you bringing in to compete?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, well, if you're bringing Jimmy, you're not bringing him. He's the winner. He's going to win the job no matter how well Zach does.
Yes.
And now you're hearing things like, well, maybe it's better if Zach would have sat out 2 years and watched.
Hey.
Why didn't we hear that when Sam was here?
I don't know. But, you know, I think of the Bears and the Jets. I harken back to 1991.
Go ahead. You got a story? Let me hear it.
Monday night, September 23rd, 1991. Coach was Bruce Coslett. Mike Ditka for the Bears. Our running backs were Freeman, Brad Baxter, and the killer Blair Thomas.
Oh, man, you're going to the fumble game. I already know where you're going. Go ahead.
Deerdorf, everybody says, turn out the lights. Barring a disaster, the Jets are going to have a very happy plane ride home. Here we are at the 2-minute warning. All we got to do is close it out. Give it to Blair Thomas. What does he do? He fumbles the ball at the Bear at our own 36.
Yeah.
At our own 36. And what do? They kick the field goal and they lose and they lose the game. Yeah. Another killer. Barring disaster, the Jets will have a very happy plane ride home.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That disaster happened.
Yeah. And I don't know, Kevin, we might be looking at another one. I don't know if as Jet fans, and this is silly, this is stupid. Of course, you want to win every game, but for the history and the health of this team, and for whatever quarterback, is it better if we lose tomorrow and then Zach comes back and lights it up? Or is it better that we win tomorrow and you keep Zach on the bench and say, that's it, we made a mistake, we're going to go veteran leadership next year?
Screw Zach, I want to win games.
Okay. So regardless of the outcome of the next 6 games, let's say, regardless of the outcome, next year as GM, do you bring in a Garoppolo and let Zach sit behind him for 2 years, 3 years?
Maybe. I mean, I saw some people saying, Well, I saw some picture or something. Top 6 spots for Rodgers. Jets being number 2. I don't want Rodgers.
I don't want
Too
Rodgers.
old.
That's just Brett Favre all over again. I don't want Rodgers.
No.
I'll agree with that. But I'll be
Jimmy
honest with
G.
you, I don't even know if I want David Carr. I know a lot of people are high on him.
No.
I don't want Carr either.
Nope.
Anyway, Kev, picks time. Are we ready? Or do you
Let's
have
go,
more
man.
to add to?
No, there's nothing else to add.
Yeah.
Win the game. That's what there is to add.
So, Kevin, last week you won 8 games, bringing your total up to 94.
Wow.
I won 9 games, slowly chipping, bringing it to 83. But like I said, we're in here week 12. I don't think I'll ever come back. I think you got it this year. I'll still try. But with our team in the playoffs and in the hunt, you got to start rooting.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard for me to really come back from this, but I'll try. Let's start off with Tampa Bay at Cleveland.
Tampa Bay at Cleveland. Interesting. Give me the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. Cincinnati at Tennessee.
Titans.
Yep, I hear you.
You too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Now, with this game, you know where the money lies, where we should go, but we can't go. Houston at Miami. Houston benched their quarterback, right? Houston's going with the backup?
Give me the Texans.
Yeah. We'll put an asterisk and say, we believe Miami will win, but we're both taking the Texans.
Pretty good.
And we have our Jets beating the Bears, right? I'll pencil that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Who do you like in these two teams fighting for a wild card? Atlanta going to Washington. Pitts is out. I believe Pitts is done for the season.
Give me to the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'll say it again. Why isn't Heineke their starter from day? Why wasn't he their starter?
I don't know.
From day one.
I don't know. Good question.
This kid is like the Mike White, maybe better. Like this team rallies around. They like
it. Yeah. See, it's not where you're picked, man.
Again, but it makes you wonder: is the GM and the ownership not sold or don't want to? Like you got your quarterback and they refuse to let him run this organization, run this team. I don't get it. I don't get it. We'll have to have our friend from Coach's Couch on from last year. He's a Redskin guy. We have to get him on and ask him that question. That's an interesting question, being he's a Redskin guy. Not a Redskin, Commanders guy. Excuse my faux pas. Denver at Carolina. Is Sam Darnold getting the win?
Sam's going to get the win.
All right. I'm with you. Again, Kevin, this is a game we know who's winning, but we can't take this team. Baltimore at Jacksonville.
I know. I gotta take the Ravens. Take the Ravens.
You're taking the Ravens?
Take the Ravens. Yes.
Wow. You know what, Kevin? Again, this is another asterisk game. The Ravens.
Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Jacksonville. We need and I understand the Jets have to take care of their own business, but you know what? As far as we're in it, I can't root for these teams that are fighting with us. Even though this is an asterisk game, I think Baltimore is going to kill them, just like I think Miami is going to kill Houston. But I'm going to take Jacksonville. I'm going to take Jacksonville. There's got to be one of these games. Got to be a miracle. I don't know which one. Chargers at the Cardinals.
Give me the Chargers.
Yeah. Now, of course, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because the Chargers are one of those teams I need to lose. I just can't see them beating Arizona. No. But I'm going to do it anyway. Screw the Chargers. My team is in the hunt. I need all you punks to lose. I'm taking Arizona.
Go.
I might have no wins this week. Might be the first time in history no one picks one game right. I'm like the Zach Wilson of picks, but I'm doing it. I'm going with
The
Arizona.
Zach of picks.
I'm the Zach of picks. I only got a half a game right. You do that. 16 games. No. Anyway,
I
Kev,
like it.
Raiders at Seattle.
Give me Gino.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got that one as well. Got that one as well. Rams at the Chiefs.
Oh, give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't even see the Chiefs as a threat. They're the number one seed. I'm not.
No Stafford, I heard.
Yeah, so. No Stafford. Yeah, I can't wait. The Chiefs are going to be the dominant team. It's those other teams in the mix. I don't worry about the Chiefs. They're the one seed. I don't have any desire about the one seed. I don't think it's realistic, the one seed. So that's why you're asking me.
No.
I just want to put it out there when people say, well, why are you taking the Chiefs there? And no, they're far ahead of the race. We need to knock those teams that are in the 5 to 5 or the 5 to 9.
Yes. Hopefully we get lucky, win our own division, but until then, you got to get rid of those other wild card teams.
Yeah, yes. Agree. New Orleans at San Francisco.
Oh, give me the Niners.
Yep, I'm with you. And the 8:20 matchup in cold Philly, Sunday night, Green Bay at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Give me the Eagles.
Yep, I'm with you. Linval Joseph and Dominic and Sue is going to make it rough for Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
9 fingers Aaron since his thumb is
broken. Yes.
And this Monday night matchup's probably not even worth watching. I wish they could flip this one. Pittsburgh at the Colts.
Give me the Colts.
Really? I'm going to go opposite, Kev. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
So 1, 2, 3 different. You can pick up 3 games.
Yeah, don't I wish. I'm going to pick up 1 this week. Anyway, that's
it for me, man. And I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're sitting here at 7-4.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night. And, hopefully White goes out, 270 yards, 2 TDs,
Yeah, let's hope. But if we're going by the coin flip guy, we lose tomorrow.
And we lose, I know. Coin flip guy. The hell out of here.
We're banking on the coin flip guy. This is what it's come to. We're not banking on the football team being good and the game is we're banking on the coin flip guy.
The coin flip guy. Oh boy.
Maybe we should do that next year, Kev.
Just flip coins.
Look, instead, when we make our game Jet season next year, we'll flip a coin and we'll see how it goes. Maybe coin flip guys got something.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Anyway, brother, have a good one.
That's it for me. You guys enjoy the day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the college football today. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night after the game. Let's go. And until then, get up! We'll talk to you later.